section we're doing here, segment we're talking about video games, and actually we're getting into one of my favorite series of all time. I would say actually my favorite series of all time. We talked about Bloodborne. This goes back actually to a different title, but it's by the same company, From Software. They make the Dark Souls series. Absolute favorite game of all time, Dark Souls. Any doubt about that? I've even got like all sorts of the memorabilia from it, the games, the books, stuff like that. But Dark Souls, the basic idea of it is you're waking up as a undead character trapped in this world, and there's a cycle that's going on there. And you're seeing the collapsed ruins of what was a civilization and fighting through it. Dark Souls is well known for being extremely difficult. It's a game where a lot of the casual gamers kind of like tried it out and they're like, this isn't for me. But if you push through it, if you're patient enough, you can kind of learn it. So that's what it was known for, the difficulty. But what I absolutely fell in love with is the horror inspirations that are there. It's a haunting world, and they tell a horror story, or any story really, in a way that can only be told in video games. That's what I love about it. And that's what I'm going to talk about with actually Bloodborne. It's from the same company. They made it. They wanted to do something that was a little bit different, but with the same storytelling style. So they made something that's actually Lovecraftian horror. It's a gothic setting. It still has the castles that's there, but it takes direct influences from Lovecraft. It's got the elder gods that are there. You can see Lovecraft all through it. But what makes a Souls game so intriguing as a storytelling medium is the fact that you don't even have to really get the story. You're just going to taste and smell the story. You're going to get all the essence of what the story is. And it's there if you want to dig into it, but it's almost like you're exploring it like an archaeologist. And that's the best description I can give. It's imagine discovering a story as an archaeologist with little clues and putting them all together. And you may or may not do that. You may just kind of go through this world, but you also can pick apart these things and learn it. I think we'll have to put a link in here. There's great videos from Muddy Media. He spent hours and hours breaking down this stuff. And what's amazing about both the Dark Souls games and the Bloodborne games is that you can see these little things, little descriptions of objects you pick up along the way. You can see things that are written on the wall. You can see monsters that have mutated. And you start to put these little clues together. You realize there's something going on here. These things all connect. And that's what's so amazing about it is you can go through it on a surface level and not realize that you just see castles, ruins, monsters, tough challenge. But when you start to dig into it, you realize, oh, this person I ran into 20 hours ago playing this game has some connection. If you look at the symbol on their shield or the symbol on their gun, they're connected with this society or this university that's over here. It's the same symbol. And while I'm looking through this university, I see this one text that refers to this research of the elder god that's in the ruins. You put these pieces together and you realize there's actually a very cool tragic story that took place in many tragic stories that are all interrelated. So the game I'm going to talk about is Bloodborne. I'll put this on Kevin and I'll take some pictures. I'll send you some stuff to look up. But I remember the one part I was playing through the game, I reached Charnel Lane and fighting the witches Hemwick Lane, or Hemwick, or whatever. And I just stopped and looked around me because you go into this large ruined chamber, and there's these bodies that have been wrapped up, and they're hanging there from the ceiling up above you, and you're working your way through this room into the basement to fight the witch that's there. Actually, witches, plural. And I remember just stopping there and saying, this looks amazing. I think this is the shot we'll have to put in the video of these bodies that are hanging there. But what's amazing is it's not just done as something that's creepy, and it definitely is, and it has this great horror vibe. But everything that's done in Bloodborne or the Dark Souls series is interconnected. There's a story that's there. There's a history. You spend 80 hours playing this game, and through that 80 hours, you're exploring all these things that are interconnected. And like a researcher or an archaeologist, you can pick up the books, you can pick up these objects, you can look at the descriptions of the things you have. This hat you picked up, read the description in your inventory of this hat. You realize all this stuff is connected in ways that are absolutely incredible. There's centuries of history written into this stuff. So that's what I recommend. I actually have here an example here of the design aesthetic here for, actually this is Dark Souls, I have a book. I got a book on the design aesthetic because I was so amazed at what they had done. But just they take the tropes and the famous designs, and they take it in a new twisted direction. This is actually the Gaping Dragon, and they've taken the dragon, and the first time you meet this thing, you have this weird dragon that crawls up out of the sewers, and it's got this small head. I'm like, this is kind of odd. Large wings, large body. I mean, gigantic dragon with this little itty bitty head. And that thing rears up and its rib cage is open, and it actually devours things directly with its rib cages. And what you find out is you start to dig into it. There's a whole history in Dark Souls with the dragon, and this was the malformed dragon that was kind of cast out from Society of the Dragons because of this, and you run into it. All this stuff interconnects, and so you play through this game, and there's so much to learn. And now I think we'll have to put in a link to like a body video. This guy has spent hours and hours breaking through it. He's got this amazing, deep, sexy announcer voice, so he's perfect for the video thing. But he breaks it down, and what I highly recommend is, it's a big commitment. If you're saying, hey, I want to play this role-playing game for 60, 70, 80 hours. If you can play through it, if you haven't done it yet, if you're a gamer and you're interested in a tough, challenging RPG, Dark Souls, or specifically I'm talking about Bloodborne today, absolutely do it. They are so well done. Bloodborne might be the best expression of Lovecraftian horror other than Lovecraft himself. It's put into the world, you live out the experience. And that's what's wonderful with the video games is you're put into it, or you experience it, you trudge through this world and you see all the stuff that's there. You run into beings that would be essentially the equivalent of an elder god in Lovecraft horror. It's not Lovecraftian in terms of being the Lovecraft universe, but so much is there, and but you can experience it. If you're not, even if you're a gamer, you're like, I don't want to go through the challenge because it's so frustrating to die over and over again in these, because it's like the difficulty is what Bloodborne and Lovecraft are known, or Bloodborne are known for. Watch the videos. There's people who play through it that are very good at the games. Body Vidya, he breaks stuff down, and your mind will just spin on it. Like, there's so much stuff that's here. Even the people who play the game don't completely understand everything. It's just an amazing creation of a horror world, a horror universe, where there's so much going on. There's people that are interconnected in the stories. You just dive into it and you just look through it and experience it. But the basic premise for Bloodborne, as I mentioned, it's Lovecraftian, but the societies that existed in this place, they found these old ancient tombs, and there was elder gods that were there, and some have ascended, but they found one that has not ascended. From this, they start to do some research. There's the Bergenworth University. They explore what was in the old society. They start to find that if you use the blood from this elder god, you can do amazing things, and it becomes both a blessing and a curse. People start to find new abilities, new powers, and new ways of healing, and they can heal themselves with this elder god blood. But it also, what happens is that based on the lunar cycles that's there, they also start to mutate as well. And so you're actually coming in there as a hunter that's keeping kind of things on the down low, taking care of these transformations that take place. But you're really at the point where this city has collapsed. It's succumbed to the blood curse, and people have mutated left and right. And so you're going through there. You're fighting off the monsters, but you're also revealing what's going on there. There's this deeper story with these elder gods. And you get to the end of the story, and you have a decision to make on whether you kind of perpetuate the cycle and stuff that goes on. Absolutely wonderful. Again, if you're a gamer, you like a challenge, a role-playing game, Dark Souls as well. I mean, a fantastic game. But Bloodborne, I think, is where they really hit their stride. From Software nailed it on what they wanted to create with this dark horror universe. Check it out. If you're not a fan of playing video games, or you just don't want to go through that challenge, seek out the videos. Go to YouTube, look for the people who play through it, or look through Body Vidya's videos. Even though you won't completely understand it, because no one does, it's the minds that are creating these games. It's something else. You just kind of dive into the horror universe and experience it. But check out what he has to say and just appreciate all these interconnected things. It's extremely complex. In terms of a horror creation, it definitely rivals like Stephen King's ability to just link up multiple books and things that are going on there, and you're like, I see how all these parts come together. So yeah, Bloodborne, Dark Souls, definitely check them out.